Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to 1970s LA by way of 1970s Vietnam. I'm back, and today we are going to finally discussing the second episode of the HBO limited series, The Sympathizer. And guys,
Finally.
be ready to welcome her because joining me on this counterintelligence mission. No, I don't think she'll be having this squid. It's Tamara.
Hi.
Hello, Tamara. Welcome to the podcast.
So happy you brought this squid up. Anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there. But can I just say I'm a big fan, by the way. This is like
Oh,
this whole thing is very cool to me. So I hail you, sir.
oh, okay, but like we've been speaking for like weeks, and you've never mentioned that. So thank you.
Surprise.
I don't like
No,
getting
because like
compliments live on air.
before,
It's very disarming.
yes. But that's the thing. I knew if I just told you, you'd be like, "Ah, whatever. I was like, let me do it outside so you know.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, welcome to the podcast. First time on. Are you ready to
Yeah.
talk about TV?
Let's get into it.
Peek behind the curtain, a regular guest on the podcast, more than a guest at this point. I was like, TMT, I'm doing Sympathizer. Do you have ideas? And he just, like I said, he just threw you up first second. So I guess you are like
Shout
a
out
TV addict
TNT.
like the rest of us. Shout out
I
TMT.
am. I am.
Um, well, our other blood brother, Kachi, can't make today, but he'll be here for the rest of the season, 3 to 7. This is 7 episode season. So yeah, we're going to talk about mostly episode 2, but I guess we'll touch on episode 1 as well because we missed it last week.
You can, yeah.
Yeah. For anyone new to the podcast, maybe you came because you're friends with Tamara. Thank you. Please stay even after she leaves. But please rate and review on whatever platform you're listening on, Apple Podcast, Spotify. You always see the option to give the ratings is right there. On the feed, we are currently covering Sugar, which is on Apple TV Plus, which is really good. Speaking of TMT Bukana are
Yeah, you
doing
guys
that.
are tempting me to watch it. I had no intention of watching it, but now I'm like, should
Why?
I?
Why did you not want to watch it?
It was giving TV version of Wanted. I was like, okay, but like, it's not your daughter. You are paid to. I'm like, okay, but then
TV version of
I'll
it.
see. I'll
Just watch
see.
it.
I'm
It's
very
calling for.
tired of man in suits is able to do has a unique set of skills. Like, okay,
That's
okay.
fair. That's fair. But his set of skills is being a nice person. He's really nice. John Sugar, Colin Farrell's
That's
character.
that's the skill. That is his
That's,
sweetheart.
would you rather? Okay, I thought you were tired of men having Liam Neeson skills. Which one do you want? He's also a very good private detective.
Okay, fine. Like I said, you guys are making me want to watch it. So we'll see. We'll
I
see.
honestly, if I need to just watch it to listen to our episodes, because we've done 2 episodes on it so far, and I don't even think they are good podcasts. I might delete them after because it's just chaos up and down. It's ridiculous. The one that came out last week just had people singing. We were talking about Udu Budu and Zendaya, and I think
How did you get there? Anyway, I'll listen. I'm
yeah
gonna
yeah.
listen. Now
So
I'm
yeah, please
intrigued.
check that out. Also, if you consumed all of Ripley on Netflix, we have 2 episodes covering that. Aisha and her cousin covered Ripley. That's the new adaptation of the Patricia Highsmith novel.
Hmm.
Also, Three Body Problem, 1 episode covering the season. Ibuka and TMT did that. Invincible, we covered the entire season, both parts. If you want to go as far back as Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which was a very surprisingly fun watch, we did that. TMT and I did
Fantastic
that.
watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
TMT and I did that beginning of the season, beginning of the year. So check that out. Again, like I said, if you're new, we usually do recommendations. Beginning of the year, we did my top 10 of last year. We did our top 5 TV episodes of last year.
You guys covered the
Um,
Oscars as well.
yeah, yeah, we did. We covered the Oscars. We did our usual live reaction. We covered a
That was
bunch of the
fun.
movies. Yeah, so yeah, well, so I guess you are actually a listener. Thank you very much.
You see?
Yeah, and also, I mean, if you watch what I think is right now the best show on TV, The Bear, Chinasan Kam and I covered
Definitely
season
the
2.
best.
Yeah, so
Definitely the
we
best.
had a very good conversation about creativity and believing in yourself and self doubt and all of that about The Bear season 2. So that's also on the feed. Um, Before we go, I'll ask Kachi this next week when he's on. But before we go into the show itself, do
Okay.
you have any like knowledge about the material, either the book or even like the larger war in
No,
Vietnam?
apart from honestly, I you know when you vaguely hear about the war, Vietnamese War, but I
Hmm.
didn't really study it. We never really went into it. I just knew America came, got involved, messed
Was it
up,
was like
bounced.
a 30-year war? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's all I knew. Never heard of the book before.
Hmm.
And at first, I wasn't even that interested until I saw A24 was part of it. And I'm like,
Okay.
big fan of that studio, big fan of
Fair.
everything they do. Thought they were infallible till I saw bodies, bodies, bodies. And I'm like, okay. So, but I
Not the
was,
bodies
I
straight.
hated bodies, bodies,
Oh,
bodies. It's not a bad film, but I was just like, this is not on brand with what people have been doing here. So, but
wow.
I was intrigued because of them. So,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
yeah, and now I'm
That's
tempted to
interesting.
read the book just so
Yeah.
I
Well,
always like
after the
a
show.
light spoiler. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a HBO show, so like I would always give a show a chance, whether it's HBO. Um, but yeah, it was HBO. It was Downey coming back to TV. It was director Park
Mm.
Chan-wook, who I'll talk about him in a second. But yeah, I was like, okay, I'm always gonna give a HBO show a chance, and
I
this
would have
one,
said that 3 years ago, but now I mean, all these studios are running mad. COVID,
well, you know what,
COVID
people are,
caused
yeah,
confusion.
it's a weird time in TV right now. There's COVID. There's the
Mm-hmm.
results of the strikes. There's like I think we're just
Mm-hmm.
now feeling the effects of the COVID backlog. Like before, people already had the shows ready to go. Now it's like oh, but yeah, and then obviously because of
And
that,
then
you're
it's gonna
gonna.
get worse after the strike. Like, only God
Yeah.
knows what we're gonna see by the end of the year.
But there will always be a show that like surprises you that you're not looking out
Yeah,
for. And then like
yeah.
when the bear first came, nobody expected it to be, nobody knew about it, and it comes out and it's like the best thing of the year. So yeah, I'm always excited about TV. Okay, so the Sympathizer. This is starring Hua Shunde, Robert Downey Jr. and Sandra Oh. It is created, and I think all episodes are written by the team of Park Chan-wook and Don McKellar. Episode 1 is titled Death Wish, written by Park Chan-wook and Don McKellar. Episode 2 is titled Good Little Asian, written by Park Chan-wook, Don McKellar, and Naomi Lizuka. Both episodes are directed by Park Chan-wook. So,
I actually didn't know he wrote it as well. That man is that Park Chan
yeah.
Wook guy.
So,
He scarred me years ago. So
well, Old
old
Boy,
boy, old
still
boy
haven't
would
seen,
never leave my mind.
I still haven't seen it. And that's like no, that's like intentional. Like I've
What?
because people
I went
like
in
you,
blind. I didn't know. I didn't know.
yeah, but people like you have said things like the movie scarred me. So like I'm not
No,
going
but
to
you have to watch
intentionally.
it. You have to
Yeah, I mean
scar
I
yourself.
have to watch it, but like I would try to avoid watching it as much as I can because like
Fair.
yeah. Let's start with Director Park because like you said, he's most well known for Old Boy. He did Handmaiden as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I haven't seen Old Boy, I really got to like know and appreciate him watching The Little Drummer Girl, which is like a I think maybe 6 episode TV show he did in
Oh, was that him? I what that has
2018.
what's her
Florence
name?
Pugh.
Yeah,
Florence Pugh.
I
Yeah, that was the
started
first.
that and I didn't finish it because I
Yeah,
don't remember why, but like it was very good. I didn't know that was
yeah,
him.
yeah. So it's Florence Pugh, which I was the first time I ever saw her. Florence Pugh, Alex Skarsgård, and Michael Shannon is also like a spy adaptation. As
Yeah,
a
I
John,
was
like
gonna say clearly
yeah,
he has a spy thing.
yeah, that's a John Le Carre of, and yeah. So and he's he's a great director, and it's
Yeah.
easy. You can even see it in this episode. It's easy to like pinpoint the flashy things he does. Like his editing is always great. His transitions are always superb. Like this episode, I think no, it was episode 1 where he transitions from like the rotary phone into the wheel of the car. Like he's always interested, and as someone who loves great filmmaking, that's always going to be interesting to me. But I think even just on rewatch, I realized just how easy he makes this show flow
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
like it's a dense. There's a lot of stuff that happens. Especially in that first episode, it's quite dense because you're going like you're flashing back during a flashback to another flashback, and like there's so
Mm-hmm.
much information that you have to keep track of, and he makes everything just work well. Some of his
It
compositions
tied
are
together nicely. I thought it was a bit choppy
exactly.
at first. I was like, where are we going? But
Hmm.
by halfway through, I was like, okay, I'm on the
Yeah,
journey with you now.
some of these compositions are just incredible. I remember the shot in the theater in the cinema where there's a
Mm.
shot of the captain and like Claude in the background, and then the reverse is the captain and the general in the background. It's just showing you obviously his influences or actually the devil on both shoulders. But yeah, it was just
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't direct. I think he directs 3 out of the 7 episodes, and then Fernando Mireles was done, most of Sugar comes in to do four, and then somebody else finishes the last three.
Oh, the I didn't even know he was part of the
Yeah,
four.
so
Okay.
he's trying. I just love his. I love. Oh, I should mention that he also did the movie in 2022, Decision to Leave. So check that out as well if you're looking
Never
for,
heard of it.
yeah, international
Who is
film.
in
Okay,
it?
but yeah, let's start. What did you think of what do you think of the show so far? 2 episodes in.
So, yeah, I don't know where I sit with it just yet. So the
Hmm.
pilot, I really like the pilot. I like the first episode. At the beginning, I was like, okay, I don't know where this is going. But halfway through, I was like, I'm on board. I like the story. I like the setup. I like the characters. I like the acting. Robert Downey Jr. will get to him, but it's like I liked it all. And then the second episode, I thought it dipped a bit. I didn't think it was as
Okay.
good.
Okay. I
I thought the
agree with
story moved
you.
nicely, but it wasn't quite as even the camera work, even the cinematography. I was like, it's a bit. You can tell they put in a lot of time with
Hmm,
with the pilot, and then for the
hmm.
I don't know what happened, but it was like, okay, now we're just on set, we're just shooting.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was not their mindset. But I get you. I do agree that season two did feel like not season two, episode two did feel like a bit of a dip.
A
But
bit.
I I think yeah, I think I'm on board. Let me do the plot. Let me just run through quickly the plot of the first two episodes for anyone
Mm,
who
mm,
obviously episode one was last week, in case anyone who doesn't remember, or if, in case, maybe you're listening to this later in the year and you don't remember what happened in the first two episodes of the show. So we start the show with the captain in a communist cell being asked to recount his days as a spy, but he continues to insist that everything he did was for the cause. We get an idea considering how the war in Vietnam ended, that this is the North Vietnamese who have captured him.
mhm,
Then we are whisked away to 4 months before the fall of Saigon, and we meet his two superiors. The general, who's his South Vietnamese superior in the secret police, and Claude, his CIA superior. They are interrogating a North Vietnamese spy on asking her where she got a list of secret agents. Unbeknownst to everyone in the room, her contact is actually the captain. Then again, in like I said,
plot
flashback
twist.
with exactly flashback within a flashback, we're introduced to the captain's two blood brothers, Bon and Man, and Bon's wife and young child. As things begin to get worse in Saigon as the months go by, Claude provides a plane for the general to take his family and his men, and then the general asks the captain to select his men, the men who will be allowed on the plane, and he allows Bon's family to join, and then Man informs the captain that you have to go to America to watch over the general. Captain doesn't like this, but he informs him that it's part of his job. He it's I love that scene because at first it sounds like Man is being like just the boss and like this is what you have to do, but then he softens it by saying like home is overrated because you realize that all these guys are actually friends, and like he will miss his friend, but like the
Yeah.
the cause is what's most important, which is I think is very interesting about this show. Like the cause is most important. Like they know
The
what
dedication to country.
exactly, they know what they're fighting
Yeah.
for. Um, and then on the way to the plane in a harrowing sequence,
Very dramatic sequence.
yeah, Bond's wife and child are killed, and then we return to the captain in his prison cell as he remembers all of this. In episode two, we pick up with everyone in America, and then we flash back to their time in Arkansas, where we see that the discontent amongst the people is growing against the general. The captain sends this information to Vietnam by way of his quote unquote aunt, I think, in France. Um, and then the general believes that it's a spy, and of course there is, but he's telling the actual spy
Mm-hmm,
that there is a spy, and
mm-hmm.
he tasks the captain to go and like find who the spy is, which is kind of like the thread that carries along the episode. Um, it continues to
I think
niggle
they
at him over.
handled the tension of that quite well. Like the
Hmm.
whole stress of, okay, I know you know that there's a spy,
Hmm.
and now I have to figure out how, like, okay, I'm gonna give you a spy, but I'm the spy. I think they handled that. That was probably my favorite part of episode two.
Fair.
The
Not
captain's.
not the love romance with Sandra Oh.
Honestly, I did not expect that. I didn't see that coming.
Mm,
I'm waiting to see where that goes.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I, I
And
don't
then as the
mind it.
general,
I love it for Sandra. Because I've never
yeah,
seen her since her Grey's Anatomy days. I haven't seen her be sexy. I
even in Grey's
haven't seen
Anatomy,
her be like.
because
No, I said since her Grey's Anatomy days. I
oh,
haven't seen
since
her
because I was gonna be
really.
like,
Yeah.
even I know Shonda Rhimes loves her a good interracial
Oh,
sexy, so I'm
100%.
surprised that
100%. 100%.
And yeah. So the general gets more focused on finding the spy, and he brings in Claude
Mm.
back in. And then the captain decides that he's going to frame one of the members of the secret police, Dumpling. Um, and then he brings in Bond, who has been in this kind of dazed funk ever since his family
His
died.
wife came to
And he basically, the episode ends with him asking Bond basically to help him kill this agent that he's framed. Um, but yeah, so like I said, I agree with you. I think episode one is a stellar piece of work actually, and it works better on the rewatch when you're not trying to keep track of everything. When you
Mm-hmm.
already know like who is who and everything, then you just let it flow. It works so much better. And I do episode two did feel like a dip as well, but I think it, episode two is almost like a new pilot because like a new episode
It's
one because
yeah, because we're moving. It's a whole new setup.
location
We're in
exactly, yeah.
America now. It's a whole, but that's probably why you could feel the difference
Hmm.
because it's new. So you would think it would be more exciting. It'd be more happening, but it was just a bit. hmm. I also, I don't know if this is a controversial question, but Robert Downey Jr. While I was watching it two times, I was like, can this man really act, or is he just really quirky and we like the vibe, like it goes? But then once I was like, oh no, he can't. So now I don't know where I stand.
Okay. Let's do the RDJ topic now. First of all, yes, he can act. Let's not go there.
But wait,
Let's
but
not do that.
actually wait, actually
Let's not do
wait,
that. Okay.
wait though. Can he really?
Yes.
Because
Yes, he can.
everything gives a variation of not even Tony Stark. Sherlock Holmes, that one he did since.
No,
Everything is like a
no. I mean,
weird
I get
variation of that same character.
so. Wait, you mean everything in Sympathizer so far?
No, everything in his career is safe.
No, I mean
It's
he's
his
basically
same.
done. He's very muted in Oppenheimer in terms of he's not doing Sherlock Holmes or Tony Stark in Oppenheimer.
He was doing Sherlock Holmes in a suit, trying not to, political
In
Sherlock Holmes. Let me not make
in
too much
Oppenheimer,
noise.
no, I don't.
Oppenheimer,
I don't
yes,
think
he was
so.
good in
I don't.
Oppenheimer, but like I didn't think compared to everyone else, I was like, all right, he's all right, he's
Okay,
holding his
so
own.
Academy Award winner Robert Downey Jr.
Not him giving his accolades just to let us know.
uh,
What did he even win for? I don't remember.
Oppenheimer.
Oh, he won for. Can you imagine? Yeah, but that one is.
No, this
You
is.
have
I'm
to
not. Even
believe.
we're not going to do this right now. But no, okay. Let's talk about him in the show because I think because for anyone who doesn't know, that's weird if you don't know at this point. But like he's going to play multiple characters in the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, he's
Which is
playing
a
four.
choice.
Yeah, and let's talk about. So he's playing four characters, and they are basically the antagonists, not necessarily villains, but they're described as the antagonists. They're the white American antagonists, right? So he plays Claude, who's the CIA agent. He plays the professor, who is like this. I'm a hashtag ally professor, and I know more
You know
about
those
Japan
allies that
than.
are such allies, they're racist.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I
It's
know more
classic.
about Japan and your heritage than you. Um, I think he plays a filmmaker who is trying to make a film about the war in Vietnam. So again, I think that's kind of play on all the American movies that have been made about the Vietnam War,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
where does it become appropriation and where does it become like paying homage? And then he plays a politician who is trying to go for the Vietnamese vote. So,
Mm.
and I think the idea, first of all, Park Chan-wook has said that the idea behind that was that they wanted all of them to show that they're all different faces of the American institution, right? So like
Okay, that makes sense.
that's why they all play. That's why he's playing the same characters to be like, this is the same, just different faces of the American institution, right?
Yeah,
But I also think the idea is
but
in
all the
terms of the
same
performance,
sentiment, pretty much.
yeah, and because focusing on Claude actually, when he first came on, I was like, oh, okay, that's a choice. RDJ, that's a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if this is my RDJ bias. I don't think it is. But like as the episode went on, it felt like he went more into the wallpaper and became
Yeah,
less of a thing. Because if you think about it, he's in I think both characters are in like three scenes in each episode. So
yeah.
they're
It's
not they're
just
not
like
that they're not that common. And I think the idea is like,
But there are always three pretty major scenes.
yeah, so I
Three,
think the idea is like
yeah,
shock. Like I think it's
yeah,
intentional. Like he comes because even the way it's shot, the way it's directed is like let's show him. Let's not shock, but like let's it's a big appearance, and then he begins to recede into the
to
background. So
come,
I think it's
yeah, yeah,
almost like the American way, where like we come in with shock and awe, and then we become
and
a
then we're
lot
like,
more
okay, yeah,
exactly what a lot more in the background. So
just
I
a looming presence.
yeah, so I think every character is meant to be, and IDJ is like IDJ was on SNL, right? So he's like he does characters. He's someone that
Uh-huh.
like does things like that. And I think the like even here, Claude and the professor are they have quirk, but they're not the same character. They
Yeah, they're
have
not.
different
They're
they have
not.
different quirks definitely. So I think
They're
I
not.
think the
And
idea
as
is
soon
like
as the professor appears on screen, you know, okay, that's another person. That's a
mhm,
whole different. Which is, I thought he did that pretty well. That's why I said I don't know. I was like, okay, maybe this man can act.
he
Maybe
cannot let's this is not the debate we're gonna I there are many things I think this podcast should be cancelled for. I don't want it to be this. This should not be
this
the
is
thing.
not.
This is not the thing. No, so as I rewatched it, I was like, okay, that's an interesting choice because it's like this is him, and then no, like he becomes the CIA guy, he becomes the scheming CIA guy, or like the especially in that mm, gathering with the captain and all the quote unquote Asian department, you could see like
Mm, mm.
the professor feels a bit I don't know if it's shunned or owned or whatever, but you could see him almost like receding and then he attacks Sandra Oh's character almost as a way to like gain dominance back
Yeah,
in the exchange.
it was almost
But
like a
yeah,
jealousy. Like, damn, I'm just
yeah,
white.
just white.
Just white. It's
Well, I mean,
awful.
unlike Claude, who's 1/16th Negro, just
Oh yeah.
in
Oh,
case you
that
didn't know.
was. I've literally met at least a dozen people who that's the same vibe. They're white as hell. And they're like, no, but I'm like 1/72nd
Are you being serious?
Cherokee.
Are you being
Yes,
serious?
yes,
Oh my
yes.
god!
So when I heard it, I was like, I know who this character is.
How do you
I know
react when they
who
say that to
Claude is.
you?
I'm like, that's great. I'm 100% nigga. So like, can't relate to you. I can't. That's so good for
Well,
you. I
you
have
don't
no
know.
mix.
You if you had said that 2 seconds later, I would have given the most impressive spit take ever because I was so close to water when you said that. I'm 100% nigga is incredible. Will be the new name of this podcast. Um, so yeah, no, I am on board with what RDJ is doing, especially because I think if the other two follow the same format of like shock and awe and then into the background and yeah, I think they're all
I
meant
can't
to
wait to meet the
hopefully.
filmmaker character because I think that's probably one of my favorite things about this show. Because I've seen
Mhm.
part of why in the beginning I wasn't that interested is there's so much Vietnam War content, but it's
Yeah.
always told from the side of the white guys.
Hmm.
So it was
Hmm.
interesting to see how it actually affects like these people, the Vietnamese people. So I'm
Yeah.
interested. I'm looking forward to seeing when the filmmaker comes, what he's gonna do. Is it
Hmm.
what's that TV show that everyone all the whites like Mash? Is it Mash? Is it Mash? Isn't that like the
It is
Vietnam War
match.
as well?
I'm not sure if it's Vietnam or Korean.
I can't remember.
It's one of the
But
wars.
even that
Like
one, the fact that it's one of them, but all I know is like there's barely any actual colored people in it.
yeah.
It's POC in it.
Um,
So
I did not expect a mash like name drop on this episode. No, yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think it's not only is it the first time we're seeing from this point of view, it's also the first time I think we're seeing about the war at the end of the war. So like it's more
The
about the
aftermath
effect,
of it.
yeah, than oh, these are the machinations that are happening to cause the war. It's like okay, this
hmm
aftermath. I mean, I think the scene where in episode one where the captain is telling people that are going, and then the dumpling has to pick between his daughter and his mom,
And
which
he
is like
picked it long. He didn't even think about it long. He was like,
said you can
let
always
my
have
kid
another
stay.
daughter
Can have another kid.
as
Meanwhile, throughout that thing, you know when like they're going and it's the mom and the wife on the bus, and the wife is just sitting there. Your kid is you self, you're just calm with it. You're like, okay. I was like, lady,
well,
no.
she too she can also have another daughter.
Me, I
I
will
think
stay. Let my daughter go with grandma at least.
fair,
But even she
fair.
was like, "Yep, I'm fine. We'll have another one." She looks so unbothered. She was like, "Come on, in law,
Yeah.
like, let's go. Fuck them kids."
What in? But yeah, I mean, even his mom's like, "Why am I here?" Um,
Yeah,
so I
she's
think
having
it's
a
just
horrible time.
yeah, I think it's one of those that kind of like a it's a sneak peek into like the horrors or decisions that I'm sure people had to make that kind of decision. Like
Yes.
not everybody could live with what they wanted.
Yeah.
Um, so Bon's father was killed by the North Vietnamese, and his wife and young child were also killed by the North Vietnamese. Which means when he finds out about the captain's allegiances, that should be a
That's
hell
gonna
of
be,
a
yeah.
fracture. Um, what are
In
you?
general, I'm excited to see where he goes because I feel like episode 2 he was in recovery. He was dealing. Now I don't know the spiral he's about to spiral, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah, well, he has a purpose now, which is to kill.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that should be
I think he's
interesting.
gonna
That's
enjoy it a bit too much, but we'll
yeah,
see.
that's what's guiding him. What are you looking forward to based on what we've seen in the first two episodes? Because I have no idea about the story. I don't know where it's
I have
going.
no. I'm intrigued. That's I'm
Hmm.
I'm sad basically because I can't even start to think of, okay, this is where is this gonna go. I'm definitely excited to see what happens to the captain. I like him. I don't know if not the captain too. What's it called? The general. I
Hmm.
like him. I don't know what that makes me. I find him very interesting. I like the fact that in his mind he hasn't quite accepted, okay, my general days are gone.
Hmm.
I'm not in charge anymore. I'm actually an immigrant. So I want to see where that's gonna go. I want to
Hmm.
see if there's gonna be any other attempts. Because again, I don't know anything. I barely know anything about the Vietnamese War,
Hmm.
but much less what happened after. So the actual rough history of it, I'm interested in. I'm interested in the general. I guess there's more Robert Downey Jr. to come. That'll be fun. But no, just kidding, just kidding. I want to see the filmmaker guy definitely. But I don't. I'm sad. I don't know what is. I can't even begin to guess what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess he probably has to go back to
Which
Vietnam at some point because you're wondering why he got captured. He didn't get captured from America, so it's
that
like,
is true.
hmm,
I'm also very curious as to why he's being. He clearly is being held by the North Koreans. He's being
North
interrogated. They're not
Vietnamese.
treating
Yeah,
him great. Yeah, his cell, his the whole thing looks very like he's a prisoner, but he's on their side. So I'm
yeah,
intrigued. Does that mean he's still a double agent? Does that like I'm? Did he switch? Because
yeah,
at
yeah.
some point
No,
your loyalties can't stay completely. So
I
I
think
don't know.
you're asking the right questions, and I think it's even teased in episode two. Where it's like, are you sure you didn't like forget about your mission because of
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Oh? Which, to be fair, there are worse things to forget your mission because of. So like,
Honestly.
um,
Pussy has been
uh,
confusing men for years. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. What is country when there's it's not
what is
today.
country where there's movement? Yeah, I mean, look, we're just men. What more can you ask? We're simple. Um, no, yeah. So I think maybe that could be it. And it's like there has to be something that happens that like
Mm,
makes the North Vietnamese question his allegiances, right? And
mm.
also, why does he go back to North? Yeah, I have
Yeah, that's
no
another big
idea.
one.
I have no trajectory of where the story. I even thought like this whole there's a spy thing would last maybe like half an episode. I didn't know it would carry into episode three. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. I thought it
very
would
interested
end
to.
with like the war. So the fact that it's still
Mm,
ongoing, I'm like,
fair.
okay, when does this end for you?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's interesting just to obviously see this point of view. It's a majority South Vietnamese cast. Director Park is obviously South Korean. Um, I think RDJ and obviously I guess Sandra Oh is obviously American, but she's also of Asian descent. No, she's Canadian
Mm,
actually.
mm,
So
mm.
there isn't
Oh
really
yeah, I
much
forget.
American. Yeah, there isn't much of an American lens on this show. So
My
that's
favorite part.
interesting.
That's one of my favorite parts of it. I don't want the white gays. I'm tired. I've seen it. I'm very happy for them.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Um. Yeah.
I
So
also
yeah.
like that it's a war. well, not really a war, but it's a spy war kind of series, but it's not too nitty gritty. It's not
Mm,
too like even when they were trying to escape and there were like bombs dropping and it
yeah.
wasn't
There ain't
too
hands flying around.
gory. Yeah, it
Hmm.
wasn't too even like when they were. There was one bit that pissed me off when Bond's wife and child died, and he goes back, and they have a whole moment. They are holding the body. They're crying. I'm thinking, if I'm on the plane, I'm leaving these people. This is not my business. This
I
is
was
not
very
my- but
surprised
I
that they
like that they
stayed.
slowed that
Yeah,
down and did that whole to kind of. It's less realistic, but it's cinema.
yeah.
It's cinema.
And then I love the funeral. The funeral shot. I'm still not entirely sure if that was real or that was imagined, but I think it was real.
Even
Like
me,
when
I'm
they're
not. That's what I mean.
when they're
It's very dreamy.
yeah, I think it was real, but
I
it was
think
very
so.
interesting because like you have the American corpses in the background, and they're all
Hmm.
draped to the American flag, and then in front of them is just two wooden boxes. Like it's just like even in death, the Americans are managing to like separate
Mm-hmm.
themselves and the others, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just two wooden boxes, and they're nailing it,
Racism
and
prevails even in death.
racism prevails. So yeah, I thought that was a nice shot and a nice scene. But I think it was real. I think it was real.
I think
Um,
so.
I don't know. The captain is a strong man. I mean, I guess Bon has been through a lot. Cause I was gonna be like, at what point did you just slap Bon and be like, "Come, please, I need wake up. I can't keep showering you. It's a lot. I know we're
I
like blood
like,
brothers, but like,
but you need to. I still have a mission. I still
yeah,
got
yeah.
shit to do.
You
You
need to
need to rally.
you need to at least shower yourself. Like I can't just keep on showering you. Like, how about
But at
um,
the same time, you kind of get it. I mean,
you 100%
your wife
get it.
and your baby, that bloody baby, the little bloody. I was like, oh, that's.
He had just said
I
his
was like,
first word as well.
yeah. What was it? Avocado.
Avocado. Okay. I think we're both. I mean, like I said, next week we'll be joined by Kachi to cover the rest of the season. But yeah, I'm happy. I think there's something here. There's definitely something here. HBO 24,
Yeah, I
Director
think
Park.
they're so far so good is what I
Mm-hmm.
would say for
Mm-hmm.
now. But as I said, A20 right now, the way the industry as a whole is missing, they can fall your hand at any fucking time.
Well,
So
what were the
I'm
A24 movies last
cautiously
year?
optimistic.
Did you see Iron
Hmm?
Claw? Did you see the Iron Claw
No, no, I
as
didn't.
Zac
But I heard it
Efron?
was trash.
No, it's not. What?
Really?
Where did you get that from?
It's I swear I heard it wasn't great. Or maybe it
No,
just was one of those ones that just came and went. Like nobody
it did. Yeah, that happened. But
not
like
trash per
people,
se, but just dry.
no, it's a strong family drama. It's
Mm.
also quite emotional.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. I can't remember where I read one shitty review and I was like, well,
Just what?
just put the first down. I was like, well, but that's the thing. I read the one shitty review and then didn't hear anything else, didn't
Well, I
see
think
anything else.
yeah,
So I was
because
like,
they didn't really push it in the awards race, and I think it then got drowned out by all the movies that were going for awards. But like, because I think it did well in the box
because I was
office. I think
intrigued.
people went to
I did
watch
wanna
it.
see.
Yeah, no, I think you should
I did
definitely.
wanna see.
I think it's out on digital now or streaming, so you should definitely watch it. Um,
I'll give it a shot.
but yeah, I can't remember what other
Also,
A24 movies
HBO
came out this
last
year.
year, The Idol. That's what they are doing now. That's what your guys are doing now.
No, HBO last year was Succession and Barry. Let's calm down.
Succession.
And The Last of Us.
I haven't
So
watched. Okay, The Last of Us was good, but The Last of Us, I'm not going to give them credit for that. The game that was never going to fail. It doesn't matter the network. The game is fire. The storyline is fire. The characters are fire. Even if CW had done it, it would have been decent. It would have been decent. So I'm not going to give HBO the props for that. But yes, I do admit the rest. Well, what is this thing? Succession. I don't think the last.
I'm not gonna have this conversation with you.
No, 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 no. It was good. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong. It
it's
was
fine.
very good
This is the
TV.
this is the wrong podcast to say whatever you're about to say.
I binged so in order to prepare for the end of
Uh
Succession.
huh.
I
Uh huh.
binged all the other seasons.
Uh huh.
Season one is phenomenal television. Two, three, four is alright.
That's no.
It's good TV,
No,
but storyline wise, the
no.
characters are fire, everything is fire, but storyline wise, it is only season one. Season two,
Season two
nothing
is
happens till the
season two
end.
is the best.
Season
Season two
three,
is the
also nothing
like
happens to the end.
no. Season
Actually,
two is
season
the
two is
best
okay. Season
season.
two is alright.
Season two is the best
Season
season.
two
I am not.
it has the most impact, yes, but
There's
continuous every episode story wise mastery. That's only season one. There's some episodes of season
no.
two that are like purely character based, so they're good. But then,
Season two has a run of I think Justice, Turnhaven, Safe House, Safe Room. No, I'm not having this. No, 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 Tamara. This is the first time I've
that's
podcasted.
how you guys will see next
I,
week. I've been replaced.
I'm,
Only say like, I can't work with this fool.
at least you think the show as a whole is good, but or not? No,
I
no,
think it's
no,
one of
no,
the
no,
best
no.
shows ever made. That one I know, but
Okay,
maybe that's
okay.
why I had very high standards. Also, who are the guys that made it? I can't remember, but they're like English people. I don't think they have the ability. After 12, 13 episodes, they're tired. Everything else, you're
Oh,
stressing them. You're
oh,
stressing them
oh.
out.
I mean, they don't. Yeah, it's not even like they're tired. It's like once they feel like they're done, they are done.
They're
Like
done.
they're not trying to make a 10 season show. That's not happening.
Mm-mm.
So
It's
yeah, it was
usually two 6 episode seasons, and then now get a
yeah,
Christmas special. That's it. So
yeah,
anything,
that's true.
anything
Yeah,
beyond that, they're like, "Ah, the story is just moving a big."
yeah.
But
Okay. Well,
I haven't watched last season of Barry, so can't speak to that yet. I heard it wasn't
yeah.
funny, but it was
Oh
good.
no. Oh no no
But it
no no
wasn't
no no
funny.
no no. It wasn't funny. It
And
was.
I was like, I need to be in the emotional states too.
I mean, it was great. I think it was my what was it my second best of last? I can't remember. My third was my third best of last year.
What was
It
your
was
best? What
great.
was your favorite?
Succession,
Okay,
and then the bear.
and
Or
then
was it the
Barry.
other way around? No, I think it was Succession and then the bear, and then Barry. Yeah.
Preferred
Um.
Succession to the Bear.
Oh no, but like it wasn't like I decided that on the day. Like it was neck and
Okay,
neck. Like
okay, okay,
it was not clear cut. Like the best season two is phenomenal. Um
okay.
like yeah. So like I think the yeah, we did like, top five episodes of the year. Like the bear had obviously had two or three entries there. No, 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 no. Like the bears it was not like a this is one and this is two thing. They were very, very close. But Succession is like my one of my top five of the peak TV era. I really love Succession. So yeah. Anyway,
It's a
but
good show. It's a good show.
yeah,
Even
season
the
two is the
finale.
best
Oh,
season.
y'all gonna forget the finale?
The 8, 9, 10. So the election episode, the funeral episode, and then the finale. Oh, the election episode is phenomenal. Anyway,
The
okay.
election episode was brilliant. That was brilliant.
I think it
That
was my
one and
best of
when
the
Logan
season.
died are my two favorite
Yeah,
episodes of the season.
yeah. Election is my favorite of the season, definitely. That was painful. That was harrowing to watch. Just like, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
give me
Mm-hmm.
2016 flashbacks. Um. Anyway, okay.
What
So
what a
sympathizer.
time. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Sorry, we're back.
don't
We brought
worry,
it
don't
back. We
worry.
brought it home.
I mean, speaking of back, I think 2016 is back. Let's see what happens in in November.
Oh, it's
2016
back.
might
It's
be all
back.
the way back. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're good. The two of us, 200% niggas in your words.
200% nigga. That's the name of this episode. 200% nigga.
If I can't put it in title because they'll ban us the way they banned some marriage. So
Oh.
let me but yeah, no, thank you very much. I think this was a great discussion, and I'm excited to watch. Obviously, like I said, Kachi will be back from next week, and then we'll cover the rest of the season, 3 to 7, and hopefully it's only up from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just intrigued because I have no idea.
Wowzers.
Like I have no idea where the plot is going. Like normally you have like a
Fancy.
someone
You
people like
can
us who watch
guess. You
TV. Yes, you
can.
have a vague roadmap, but I have nothing. Like I have no because I think because it's happening at the end of the war, so like you just have no idea where it's going.
Mm-hmm. There's
So
no context for me, so I'm just like, "Ah,"
yeah,
which is
I
good.
mean
They've done the choices made are very
yeah.
good for this show so far.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, I guess we
let's
shout
see.
out the book. Obviously, it's based on the book, so they have everything there.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Tamara, thank you very much. See you next week to talk about
Bye bye.
episode 3 of the Sympathizer. And guys, thank you very much for listening. If you're listening, please rate and review. Like I mentioned, check out our other episodes. as you wait for us to come back next week. And yeah, join us next week when we'll be joined by Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya. Bye, guys.
Bye.